Hello my friends. This is a preliminary tutorial video for datarunr. There will be a real tutorial for the actual game, but for the alpha we're going to just have this video which will explain how to play. So let's go ahead and create a new account here. And one thing you might want to notice is that you can change the color that your base will be to other players. So let's make ours a red color here. That's as red as it gets. And let's go. So we begin the game in a run. So let's go ahead and select some icebreaker programs to break through the ice which is protecting this base. We don't have any information about the target base, so we can pick these at random. It doesn't make a difference. We'll go like this. So this is the target base of this initial run, this tutorial run. And as you can see, there are 6 nodes. The squares are nodes called data miners, which is where resources come from. The pyramidal shape is a storage node, which is where finished coins are stored. And this large isosahedron is the root of the base, which is where the base can be shut off from if you manage to access it during a run. You have to start at a miner, so let's pick this one. Now as you move from node to node, if you land on a miner, you'll be shown the percentage of that resource that you currently have in storage. Now it's telling us 100% because we're full of both of this kind of resource. You'll also notice I can't move to a node which I'm not next to. So to get to this storage, I'm going to first have to move to this miner, and now I can move to the storage. Also notice I'm able to freely move unless I hit an ice. And ice are defenses positioned by our opponents. Let's go ahead and move to this storage now, and we'll meet our first ice. There's no escaping the ice except for 2 ways. You can break the ice using an icebreaker, like so, or you can take damage from the ice by pressing this heart button up here. Now we've made our way through. If there were any coins in this storage, we could access them and take them full loot by clicking on that button there. However, there were no coins, so we didn't get anything. Notice that we did lose a life breaking through the ice. So let's go ahead and proceed on to the core where we can shut down the base. So in this case, if we use the red icebreaker on this, it will only cost us 1 because red has an advantage against blue. Any other kind of situation, if the ice is neutral towards the icebreaker, it'll take 2 to break through it. And if it's disadvantaged, if you see these downward arrows, it means it will take 4. So the best case scenario is it takes 1. Worst case scenario is it takes 4. We don't have an icebreaker to break through this ice, so we have to take the damage. However, we've made it. Notice that the screen begins to flicker with snow when you have taken a large amount of damage. So we've shut down the system, and now you'll notice we can move through it. The ice has been turned off, so the base is completely ours at this point. There's nothing left to do here, so what we're going to do is tap this button to return back to the neighborhood. So this is what the neighborhood looks like. Each player gets their own tower, and you can actually move between neighborhoods. There's no limit to how big they can become. We also got some mail informing us that we had stolen credits from ourselves. So this is telling us that somebody stole our coins. It was us. We were running ourselves in that first run. And we also get a congratulations email from Nex. Now you can take a look around the neighborhood. You can click on a base to take a look around it. You can send this player a message. You can run on this player, but before we do that, let's go back to our own base. So now we're at our own base where we can conduct our own base management from. You just click on your miners to take coins out of them if they're full, and then the coins are transferred to your storage. If you want to see your coin counts, you can just look up here. It will tell you how much of each coin you have. It will tell you how much storage is remaining. It will tell you the level of your player, your ice, and your icebreakers. Now if you click on an empty node, it will consolidate all of the other nodes into it. So notice how tapping on this is sucking the resources out of these other two nodes and channeling them into coins. So in this way you can build up resources very quickly if you have multiple miners. Now it is an idle game and it will slow down as you move up in level, but I have accelerated things to be fast at the beginning to get you hooked to the game. I mean, to show you the basics. So now that we have 18 credits, let's go ahead and see if we can upgrade. We can. So we're going to go ahead and upgrade our base now from level 0 to level 1. If you're big on computers, you know that we start counting at 0, not at 1. So I'm positioning during this base construction, building a storage, and now I'm going to build out my miners. You might remember that you can't start at a storage or at the root, so I can protect myself by putting my miners at the opposite end of my base than my storage and my root. So what I'll do is position my ice to defend the vulnerable parts of my base. Now you can position ice at random, but players are also likely to choose icebreakers at random, and then they will have a perfect distribution to attack your base. Or you could use all the same color, in which case they will be very disadvantaged if they randomly load up icebreakers. But it will be easier for them to remember what colors you had when they run you a second time. So these are choices you have to make about your defense in the game. So our defense is laid out. Now notice we only have 8 icebreakers. That's not very much. So let's go ahead and upgrade our ice. I'm sorry, we only have 8 ice. That's not very much. Let's go ahead and upgrade our ice. Oh, I don't have enough yet. How much do I need? 2. Well, you know what would be the perfect solution to this? Let's steal this data from someone else. First, let's empty ourselves completely, and let's go. Let's steal from this guy, Fet, right here. By the way, it's called Unity is the name of the first neighborhood, because that's what we call 0, 0 on the graph, which is exactly where that location is. So we want, on this run, we want this kind of ice. I'm sorry, this kind of data. We want sec data. So let's grab it up. And notice that our percentage increases each time we move. That represents our miners getting filled up. Let's run on Kessler's now. Same deal. Just steal his stuff. Didn't even have any defenses. We're up to 100%. That means we're full now. And if you forget what that text says, you can look at the Skybox status and you'll see that we're full. So it's time to go home in this case. So let's go ahead and grab up our coins, and you'll notice we got 26 coins now, more than enough to upgrade our ice. And since we've upgraded, we get 8 more to position. Let's go ahead and put one of these sets on our security node here and on the other one. Now you'll notice I'm not defending my core, which might seem strange. However, by the time they get to my core, they'll already have looted my only storage and I will have nothing left for them to take. So we want to defend before they get to our storage, not after. And now let's upgrade our icebreakers so that we can go on a run with more stuff. Did that go through? It did. Okay. Now you'll notice you get emails from the system whenever you complete an upgrade. They're telling us our net worth with SEC is now 48. There will be leaderboards for all players globally for who has the highest net worth with each of the 5 corporations. Now let's move against a more challenging opponent here, and let's try to steal someone's coins if they have any. We might be able to rob this guy. I'm not sure that he has anything in his storage, but let's see. Now we're being asked to re-specify our icebreakers because we leveled up and this is a new level for us. So let's go ahead and do 2 of these and 1 of each of those. Well, let's not do 1 of each of those. 1 ice is useless unless you run into its advantaged color, so you might want to stick with even numbers. Alright, to the storage. Okay, blue ice gets broken with red, and we're going to have to... We could break this with 2, but I'd rather save my ice for when I can use it. I'll just take the damage here. And here as well. Ah, he did have some coins, so let's take them. And there's our loots. Now we're stuck with a choice. We can attack his core, or we can go back. Attacking is risky because we could theoretically get flatlined here. Let's do it. Alright, I'm down to my last health. So from now on it's break ice or die. We're dead if we run into some colors here. What to use? Let's use the green because that will leave us equipped in case we run into something weak against blue. Aw, snap. It's getting tight, guys. It's real tight. What to choose? Made it. Just made it. That's the excitement of datarunr. Now we shut him down. Now he can move freely through his base. I'd like to point out at this point his inventory is completely empty. We've stolen everything from him. We back up. Let's go home, take a look at our loots. Nice. There it all is. Alright. Now we can use these credits to do something. Let's go ahead and build a new... Let's build a new data miner, and let's put it right here. And let's start working. What did we get? Purple credits, magenta credits. That's a corp called New, and they increase the speed at which you refresh from running. So let's go ahead and build into that. We'll build a new miner here. And now we'll begin generating that coinage, and we'll use that later on to upgrade ourselves. I want to show you something now. Let's say we wanted to run somebody. Whoops. Well, I guess we're running the biggest guy in the game right now. I will tell you this, he has a lot of sec data in that node right there. And I also know that he is all these 2 colors in the first node. So we break this, and now we're absolutely full of SEC data. And now let's go home, and we can extract that data and create coins with it. There we go, all set. That brings us up to 45, which might be enough for our next upgrade. Nope, we need 64. Let's go ahead and get another miner, another storage here. That way we won't come close to running out of space. You don't want to lose coins because you have no space left for it. Alright, there's our first coins from our new miner. And let's see if we can build a new plug-in here. This is additional runs, which is very strong. Or this is additional runs. It's free. Well, that's interesting. I'll take it. How many others are free? Just the first one. Okay, well, I need to fix that. That's not appropriate. But check it out. That extra run, I'll show you now. Right here is our number of runs we have available. It's going to be 4 minutes until I go up by 1. And when you're out of runs, you're not allowed to run anymore until you recharge. I'd also like to note that I was also healing over time as well. You heal pretty rapidly, so it's definitely worth it to not allow yourself to die and wait for the next run. Anyways, this video is getting a little long. Why didn't it show my new net worth? That's a bug. We should see the coin there showing my net. Oh, we're not seeing it because it was 0, because it was free unintentionally. But that gives you an impression of the basics, I think, of how to work the game and what you're trying to do here. And let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.